Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you part 9 of What If Naruto had 9 Kekkei Genkai. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform, and also go ahead and check out a new episode of What If Naruto. Join the Akatsuki I posted. And over on Anime King, I posted a new episode of What If Tsunade was Naruto's mother and What If Kurama gave Naruto a dojutsu. So go ahead and check out those and enjoy. And if you're new and this is the first time you're hearing my voice overall, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and join the Anime King 2 and the Anime King channel guys, and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you all for your help and your support. And comment down below and tell me if you're new, where I'll be replying and talking back to all of you. So without further ado, let's get straight into this new episode. So, to do a little bit of a recap, Taejun and Fluffy found out that Jiraiya and Tsunade was Naruto's grandparents, but someone took their memory with a memory suppressing seal. Other than that, we went off with the preliminaries as Naruto in the final battle faced off against Kankuro, as Taejun then noticed something about Kankuro, that someone take over his body as he was using all sorts of different techniques. As Temari and Gaara were surprised to Kankuro's move, he even used the Amaterasu, but Naruto evaded all of that, and with his newfound power he defeated Kankuro. And after the match, Kankuro had no idea what just happened or how did he lose, because the last thing he remembered was standing up in the stands. They then announced for the finals. After that, Naruto went off with the others. As Sasuke was walking through the halls, and a man appeared in front of him. Sasuke tried to attack, but the man placed a hand on his head and Sasuke fell down as the man disappeared with Sasuke's body. It was then that Gaara was walking through the woods in the village, as Taejun found him, as the both of them battled, and after the battle Gaara was on the ground. Taejun then used a seal to suppress the Shikaku inside of Gaara, making Gaara sleep peacefully for the first time in a couple of years. So yeah guys, that was basically the last part we left off. You guys can switch across the playlist and check it out for yourself. So let's start this new episode, shall we? We start this episode at the Hokage's office. Sarutobi sighed as he was furious with himself. Even though he finished all of his paperwork, he wasn't happy with himself. He was totally blind to the civilian council plans. Only luck had saved the village. If Danzo hadn't appeared with the Envu, who knows what would have happened? Danzo was the one who saved the day, while he couldn't do anything. He was old, very old. He retired for a reason. When he gave his position to Minato, he was slipping and making more mistakes, and the village in this troubled time, he couldn't afford to do that, as he needed someone else to take the job. He would have asked Danzo, but with the root scandal, they won't accept him as their leader. Once the tuning exams were over, he would step down, but he has to do several things first. 1. Trial the teachers that had messed with Naruto education and not teach him many things in the academy. 2. Make sure Naruto get a council seat. 3. See Naruto to Chunin rank. 4. Ensure that Sasuke doesn't pass this year. He then scratched the back of his head. Who could take the position of Hokage? As he see it, Shikaku, Kakashi, and Jiraiya was the candidates. Shikaku was too lazy, Kakashi was too tired, and Jiraiya has his spy network. It was then a rock smashed through the window. As he looked over at the rock, who could have done that? Where was the security? As he then walked up to it, the rock had two writing on it, gamble and sake. Hearing the word gamble, that brought something to his mind. Tsunade. In the forest of Konoha, Gaara! Gaara! Temari called out as she was looking for her brother. Her brother has left on a murderous rampage last night and he didn't return. And to add to it, Sasuke and Sakura had vanished as well. She cringed. First, Kankuro got possessed and he lost his puppets. And his eyes got damaged while he was possessed. And now Gaara vanished. Skipping to the hot springs. With a yawn, Naruto stretched on the bench outside as Hinata had invited Haku, Fu, and Kurenai to the hot springs to celebrate them pass him the preliminaries. Naruto then heard something as he turned his head as he looked up to the tree to see a man with a binoculars as he was writing in a book. As it was Jiraiya as he was peeping and writing down every single details for his Ichi books. Naruto glared up at the strange man. Pervert, stop looking into the girl hot springs. My friends are in there. As Jiraiya turned and smiled. Why are you smiling at me? Said Naruto. It was then that the door of the hot springs opened as a lot of women in towel came out. As Jiraiya grabbed Naruto by the arm and ran off. Hey, that pervert just kidnapped Naruto, said Hinata. A distance away. Honestly, did you have to do that? I dislike being called a pervert, said Jiraiya. Huh, you were peeping at the girl hot springs. Well, the reason I dislike to be called a pervert because I'm not. I am a super pervert, Jiraiya said. And I am also the writer of the greatest book in the world. Harry Potter? Naruto asked. No, you idiot. The Ichi books. As he looked at Naruto. As Naruto scratched the back of his head, it was then that they sensed a killer intent. Two of them, as Jiraiya turned to see Fu and Haku. As Hinata heard everything. So this is the man that write those wonderful books, she thought to herself. Hey wait, said Naruto. You're the pervert sage. So do you have this something contract that belongs to my father? Wait, how does he know? Jiraiya wondered. Sometime later, Jiraiya and Naruto was in a field. Okay boy, you signed the contract for the toads. Now, let me see you summon a toad. Now don't get frustrated if you summon a small one. Naruto bit his thumb as he ran through a hand sign, summoning jutsu, as he summoned a giant toad with a shower cap and a giant brush. Jiraiya, how dare you summon me while I'm taking my bath? A bit later in the hospital, Jiraiya lay down on a bed as a toad beat the crap out of him. Alright, how about the Rasengan, he said to himself. I cannot get hurt teaching him that, right? Time skip. 1 month later, the Hokage was happy as it was finally time for the Chunin exams, and after that he will retire. He has done a lot in this month. The paperwork was finally under control. With the civilian council demise, the root ninjas were placed everywhere, waiting for the invasion. As he also got most of the place in Konoha that refused Naruto in the past to let him in now. The civilian council was now gone, and it was surprising to how much there were. It was about 80% of the stores in Konoha didn't want Naruto in there. They also rustled up the teachers that refused to teach Naruto in the academy, and they were all out of work and removed from serving as a shinobi. However, it was now time for the exams, and Sarutobi hoped that Naruto was ready. Couple hours later, at Konoha Stadium, the place was bubbling with sound as everyone was ready to watch the matches as the 12 pro genins below, Tenten, Neji, Lee, Fu, Haku, Naruto, Shino, Hinata, Samui, Shikamaru, Kurasuke, and Temari. But there was some changes. Like with Sasuke, his skin seemed pale and he was glaring at everyone. And Gaara hasn't arrived yet. It was then that a swirl of sand appeared in the center as Gaara emerged from it. And he also seemed different. His skin seemed healthier, his life showed more light in it, no more hatred or darkness. His hair was also longer, covering the kanji on his head for love. Gaara? Temari said shocked. She couldn't find him for the entire time, and now he looks different, less psychotic. Hello, am I late? He asked, as the proctor shook his head no. You're on time. As Temari was shocked. Why was Gaara acting this way? Did something happen? Sarutobi then gave everyone a speech. After that, the proctor called the first match, which was Gaara versus Samui. Before Gaara left the field, she looked back at Gaara once more. Gaara, I was worried sick about you. Where did you go? He smiled at her. As Temari shivered inside, this had to be a sign of the apocalypse for Gaara to be smiling at her. I improve, he said, as he turned to Samui. Unaware to everyone, Taejun and Fluffy was using a seal, as they were invisible to all, as they are about to enjoy the battles. The proctor then asked them if they're ready, as both of them nodded. Samui then ran through hand sign, lightning release, lightning surge, as she sent a blast of lightning towards Gaara. Gaara then started to run through hand sign. Hey wait, when does Gaara do hand sign? Kankuro asks. Wind release, wind dragon dust, as a wind dragon came out of the gourd on his back and fly towards the lightning as it slammed it down into the ground and it exploded beside Samui. Samui jumped out of the attack range. As the judges up ahead nodded, they were impressed. You are a lightning user, so my sand will be worthless against you. It can get through my sand. So, I have found other strategies to fight you, said Gaara. What's going on? Gaara is not using Shikaku. Does this mean an alien invasion is going to come? Kankuro asked as he looked around. Not cool, said Samui. He has a counter for most of my jutsus. She then drew her katana as she charged forward and sliced at Gaara. Gaara ran through hand sign, wind release, wind wall, as a wall of wind formed to block her blade. But Samui grinned. Fire style, fire blade, she said, as her katana caught on fire as she slammed it down on the wind wall, caused an explosion as she substituted out of there. What the hell, said Karu as she gasped from her seat. As Yujito grinned. What, said Yujito. I thought I would teach her a few things. Gaara was blasted by the explosion as he burst into smoke. Shadow clone? Said Samui as Gaara was standing on one of the trees in the arena. So you have fire release. I applaud you for your strategy, but for now, wind release, ear drill bullet, Gaara said as he fired several bullets of air down towards her. Samui used her fire sword as she struck them and destroyed them. As Gaara smiled. Wait, why is Gaara smiling? Said Temari confused. None of his attacks are working. He should be pissed off. The ground then suddenly exploded as sand tentacles appeared and flew towards Samui as she gasped. But Samui jumped up in the air as her sword with the fire on it was replaced with lightning cackling all over it, as the judges were impressed. Both of them show great potential, one of them remarked. Lightning fire release, as flame started to burn around the cackling lightning sword, adding the two natures together. Energy blade, said Samui, as she cut right through the sand tentacles. As no tentacles got close to her, she cut through all of them, but Gaara seemed very calm and smiling. Now, said Gaara, as ropes flew from the tree, binding Samui as it shocked everyone. Samui then turned her head as she saw two raccoons using the ropes to bind her. Not cool, she said. Oh, so you have met my new friends, said Gaara. The raccoon brothers, my sensei over the month, was holding the raccoon contract and he gave me it after his lesson. Team 11 eyes then went wide as one mind came to their head. Taejun. He alone possessed these kind of summonings. So, you trapped me with ropes. Samui then looked up at Naruto. It would be uncool to lose here, especially in front of him. As lightning then cackled off her hands and run down the ropes towards the raccoon. As they released the ropes and jumped away as Samui ran through hand sign, fire style, flaming cat palm technique. She then fired hundreds of cat palms made out of fire towards Gaara as he brought up his sand to block them. But she then speed around the sand as she elbowed right into his side, sending Gaara tripping over. As she was now ready to end it, but she had to stop as red chakra stopped her as she looked at Gaara. So Another Jinjulki, she said. Gaara then held out his hand as he created a Shikaku hand, but it didn't came over his face or anything like that, just over his hand. Wait, that's different from before, Temari said. Behold, the result of training. Gaara then flew towards her. She rushed towards him as well, with her sword as the two of them slammed right into each other, creating a large boom. As the crowd waited, when the dust cleared, Gaara was standing over Samui, his sand covering her chest. Gaara then turned to the proctor. I suggest that you get something to cover her up. The last attack destroyed her shirt. As Temari's eyes went wide when she heard that. He's being merciful? The apocalypse. Damn God, the apocalypse, said Kankuro. This could mess up the entire invasion, said Baki. Winner, Gaara, the proctor announced, as some nurses took Samui out with something covering her chest. It seems that your training really worked, said Gaara, speaking to no one in particular. At the Cloud Village, office of the Raikage was depressed, utterly depressed. He wanted to see how his brother's students were doing in the finals, but he had to stay back here because of the worst thing in the world, to Akage, paperwork. This had to do with the new genin that defected from the sound, Dosu. He provided good information for them on the village and their leader, and this information was really vital. With Oniki, he was currently at a hospital as he was screaming for his back. Alright, the doctor said. You know, you come in here a lot. As the doctor, hands started to glow green. Just fix me up already. Damn it, I wanted to go and see my granddaughter destroy those Konoha ninjas, but I have to be here doing back surgery. Ah, my back! Did you do that on purpose? Said Oniki, as the doctor simply chuckled. Back at the stadium, the next match was about to begin. Tenten versus Sasuke. So little girl, hope you're ready to lose. I need a good show anyway, and once I defeat you, you will become one of my wives. Tenten growled at Sasuke as she pulled out a kunai, as she tossed it at him, but he dodged it easily. Tenten also had a scroll on her back. Sasuke then activated Sharingan as he ran through hand sign, fire style fireball jutsu, as Tenten jumped back out of the attack and dodged it, as she pulled out the scroll and unsealed a sword. That's it, Tenten, show him all your training, Lee yelled from above, as Tenten focused her chakra into the sword, earth release, earth blade, as she slammed her sword into the ground. As the texture of the earth started to flow on it, she then lifted it up back, as the sword was more stronger now. Sasuke ran through hand sign as he threw another fireball at her, but she cut right through it with her blade. So you're a girl that actually can fight. Alright, he then ran through hand sign, lightning release, Surge of Lightning, as he sent a blast of lightning towards her, as Killer Bee narrowed his eyes at that technique. That's Samui Jutsu, he said, as the blast flew towards Tenten, but Tenten vanished in incredible speed as she reappeared behind Sasuke. As she brought her sword down, Sasuke's hand started to crackle with lightning. Chidori! As he slammed his Chidori into the sword was sent flying out of her hands. He then activated lightning chakra on his hand again, as he aimed for her heart, but ninja wires were restraining his hand. Didn't expect that, didn't you, pretty boy? Tenten said with a smirk. Of course I did, but I don't need my eyes for that. As his Sharingan then morphed into a different shape, a star. As Taejun's eyes went wide, so that is where he was. That Uchiha was teaching him, as Taejun squeezed his fist, as Sasuke had the Mangeto Sharingan, as he looked directly into Tenten's eyes, as he caught her in a Genjutsu. In the Genjutsu, Tenten was floating in darkness, as weapons arrived from everywhere, as they came at her, piercing her, as the pain was unbearable. This is something different. Release, she said, as she tried to release it, but nothing was happening, as she then remembered something. Flashback. Tenten was looking for Naruto, in the month of training as she finally found him. Naruto, she said. You're Tenten, right? Bushy Brown's teammate. Yes, Naruto. And I would like your help. You seem to be very skilled in seals. Am I right? She asked. As Naruto nodded. Well, I want you to make something for my storage seal, she said. I'll pay. Naruto shook his head. Nah, the only thing I need you to do is kick the Uchiha's ass. Back in the Genjutsu, Tenten couldn't believe how nice Naruto was to her to help her out. He also told her that he gave her something special. It was then that a seal started to glow on her back, an anti-Genjutsu seal, as it let out a burst of chakra and break right through the Genjutsu. Yes, I am the winner, said Sasuke, but Tenten then appeared as she sent a devastating kick right in his face, as he was sent flying into a tree. As Tenten started to pant, that Genjutsu wasn't easy to deal with. Thank you, Naruto-kun, she said. Wait, why did I say con? She said to herself. Sasuke then got up. How did you break my Genjutsu? It doesn't matter. Passing Fang, as he started to spin violently as Kiba growled in his seat. Tenten drew out a giant hammer from the scroll as she dodged Sasuke and knocked him straight up into the air as she threw a dozen kunais towards him. Sasuke ran through handside in mid-air. Fire release. Phoenix Fire Jutsu as he released a bunch of small flames going towards Tenten as they knocked away the kunais that were coming towards him and the shurikens. Tenten then opened the scroll some more as thousands of kunais and shurikens, all sorts of weapons, were sent towards Sasuke as the judges were talking. Such weapon mastery at her age. Another tuning in the making. However, the Uchiha is too angry. All of the weapons hit Sasuke in mid-air as Tenten threw a smoke bomb that exploded as something fly out of the smoke and fell to the ground. As it was just a log. As a real Sasuke arrived behind Tenten, she tried to turn around but Sasuke smacked her down as he then rushed towards her as he ran through hand sign, chakra sealing technique as he slammed his hand on her head as Tenten started to feel all the chakra being drained out of her body as her eyes started to went dull. It was then that the proctor arrived as he knocked away Sasuke's hand. She's out, the proctor said, with Taejun and Fluffy. Damn Uchiha, I hope Gaara killed him, said Fluffy. Something is wrong, said Taejun. I fear that the Uchiha possessed Sasuke and has most likely improved his curse seal. I just feel something is wrong, said Taejun. I can feel it also, said Fluffy. Tenten was then taken away for emergency treatment. Winner, Uchiha, said the proctor. He is truly unyouthful, said Lee, as he clenched his fist. The proctor then announced the next match, which was Kurosaki and Naruto. As the both of them went down to the arena, Naruto looked at her as she was sending all kind of killing intent towards him. The third match, Kurosaki versus Naruto. Begin, said the proctor. Lava release, lava geyser, as the ground exploded under Naruto. As lava sprayed out as Naruto jumped back, Naruto could not call on the Kyuubi's power. It was because of his Kekkei Genkai. In danger, he seemed to activate a new Kekkei Genkai, and all of the Fox Chakra seep into the seal where he get the Kekkei Genkai. So he would get healed, but he wouldn't use the Fox Chakra at will. Fu, Jiraiya, and Haku were trying to make him use the Fox Chakra, but nothing was working. Jiraiya even threw Naruto off of a cliff. Naruto had to use his ice style to create a bridge so he wouldn't die. Back to the fight. Aura release, Aura spear, said Naruto as he sent the aura ball towards Kurosaki. As she smirked, earth release, rock fist, as she slammed her fist that is covered in rock straight into it as it shattered away. As she then rushed towards Naruto and hit him right in the stomach. But there was a poof as he poofed away. She then turned around to see the real Naruto as he ran through Handstein. Fire release, Dragon Flaming Jutsu, as she released a dragon from her mouth that was made of flame as it rushed towards Naruto. Naruto quickly ran through hand sign. Aura release, aura bubble. Naruto was encased in a bubble as he was sent flying into the wall, but he didn't get harmed because of the bubble shield. Kurosaki didn't appear above him. Rock fish, she said as she slammed her rock fist into it as it exploded, but Naruto flipped out as he ran through hand sign. Scorch release, desert blaze, as an intense wave of heat flew towards Kurosaki as she stopped in her tracks and started to sweat heavily. Wait, scorch release, that is an extinct sand bloodline, said Temari, as Kurosaki couldn't walk forward as she was sweating. Fire release, fireball, said Naruto as he slammed the fireball right into her as she was sent up into the sky. Naruto then summoned 3 clones, as one of them had a wind ball, one of them had a dust ball, one of them had a fireball, and one of them had a water ball, as all of them hit Kurosaki, but then she dissolved into mud. Mud clone, said Naruto. Fire style, purgatory blast, as a blast of fire stream was sent towards the clone as the real Naruto jumped out of there, as the fire then expanded, engulfing all of the clones. Naruto ran through hand sign, water style, water dragon, as he sent a water dragon towards Kurosaki. Dragon flame jutsu, she said, as she created a fire dragon and it overpowered, steaming Naruto water dragon to nothing and flew at Naruto. Lightning release, shock palm. Naruto sent a palm of electricity towards the dragon, destroying it, as he then rushed towards Kurosaki, delivering a roundhouse kick. She bent over as she then sent a punch towards his face, which he blocked, as he then kicked her in the stomach, but she dissolved into mud again. Not again, said Naruto. Lava release, lava geyser, as the ground under Naruto exploded again and lava started to spew out, as he had to jump back so he wouldn't be deep fried. Not this time. Lava release, lava geyser feel, as she slammed her hand on the ground, as all around the arena, the ground exploded and lava started to pour out. Wind release, wind feathers, said Naruto, as he used the wind around him to pick him up, as he flew straight up into the sky, dodging the spikes of lava that was coming up. Naruto then saw her in the only part of the arena that there was no lava, as he pulled out 5 kunais and threw it down towards her. She disengaged the lava release as she jumped away. Naruto then summoned 8 clones while he was in the air, as he ran through hand sign. Ice release, demonic ice mirrors, as Kurosaki was trapped inside as the clones went in the mirror. Ice release, endless Rasengan, as the clones formed Rasengan and flew towards Kurosaki. Water release, water wall, she said as she created a water wall around herself to stop the Rasengans. Kurosaki continued to use her water wall to stop the endless Rasengans, as the ground then started to heat up, as Naruto, who was using Scorch release, burst out of the ground right inside of her water wall, as she was surprised as he kicked her in the stomach. She was sent flying back as she broke through the ice mirror. Naruto then ran through hand sign. Storm release, Great Twister, as Killer Bee eyes went wide. Wait, that is our Kekkei Genkai. She quickly ran through hand sign. Lava flow, she said as she slammed her hand on the ground, as the ground broke apart and a huge spike of lava smashed right into Naruto's storm release. As Taejun saw the lava took over Naruto's storm release, as it was coming towards Naruto, who was panting as he was out of chakra. Well, it's time that you got this one, said Taejun, as Naruto vanished before it could hit him. Teleport, as he appeared in a yellow flash, as everyone was surprised. Wait, that is the 4th Hokage's move. As Shikamaru palm-faced himself. How could I not see it, he said to himself, as he saw an image of the 4th Hokage behind Naruto. Wait, does that mean? As the people in the arena started to talk. Is he really? Naruto then said, teleportation. Teleportation rush. As he vanished, he appeared behind Kurosaki as he kicked her in the back. Teleportation rush as he appeared in front of her, as he kicked her straight up in the air, as he kept on using his technique to knock her all around. After about several kicks, he appeared above her as he slammed her in the stomach, sending her spiraling down the ground. As she was already out cold and she was going down headway. Wait, that can kill her, some of them muttered. But Naruto jumped up as he caught her, bridal style, and landed with her gracefully as he placed her down. He saved her life, someone said. As the audience blinked, the boy saved her from dying. Kurosaki then slowly started to open back her eyes as she looked at Naruto. Why? She said confused. As she was temporarily knocked out, he could have left her for her to die. Well, I don't have any reason to kill you. And besides, this is a test. And I hate for you to fail by dying, Naruto said. As she sighed, is this really the person that I should hate? He's the fourth Hokage's son, but he's such a good guy, she said to herself. The proctor then announced Naruto is the winner. But guys, gonna be ending this episode right here. If you want to see the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember to share to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also go ahead and check out the new episode of What If Naruto Joined the Akatsuki. I post a new episode of that. And go ahead and check out Anime King, my main channel guys, where I post a new episode of What If Kurama gave Naruto a dojutsu, and also What If Tsunade was Naruto's mother. So go ahead and check out those and enjoy. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice and you enjoy the lovely what ifs on both channels, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and join the Anime King family and become a part of the channel. And also comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying and talking back to all of you. So yeah guys, without further ado, I'm out for now. See you tomorrow. Peace.